Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Remedy1 here. Today we're gonna go over the Black Ops Cold War Zombies Die Machine map. Now, before we get started, I'm just gonna tell you what we're gonna go over today. We're gonna go over some tips and tricks on how to play zombies, as well as get all the 4 upgrades for the Wonder Waffle machine, and also how to complete the Easter egg as quick as possible. Now, if you guys haven't already, I would really appreciate if you go ahead and sub down below. It is free, no charge whatsoever, and drop a like if you have enjoyed the video. Alright guys, tip number 1 for today is if you don't already have the knife, I would suggest getting it. To get the knife, you need to be level 13. Now that's really easy if you play zombies or any other map, because if you play any other maps besides zombies, you can also upgrade with zombies as well as other maps. So the reason why I suggest getting the knife is because it does 4,000 basic damage. Now what that means is that it's super OP as fuck. That's basically what it means. So the weapon will last you to round 13. After 13, it's a 2-hit damage. But you can always pack-a-punch the weapon and, increase it. So the pack-a-punch, you can upgrade it 3 times, as well as any other weapon except for the Wonder Waffle. And that is pretty OP because it's a way to save and preserve ammo. So you can run this with any other weapon, say the Wonder Waffle or the ray gun, and it'll save you ammo. Now the only problem is it won't get rid of crowds. But I suggest really getting it. If not, if you do not have the knife, I would go with a regular assault rifle or MP5 for the beginning, because you're only less than level 13. Alright guys, tip number 2 for today is to stay at the spawn area until rounds 5, 6, and 7. The reason why I say this is because you need to save up money so you can open the rest of the doors. If you do not, you cannot turn on the power. The power is the main key to this map. So, I really suggest, if you are new to this game, to leave at round 7. Because you'll have enough money, because all you need is about, if you're playing solos, 9,000. If you're playing with a squad, about 11,000. So you can get all the doors open, as well as have enough money to go through the ether tunnel, which we're going to go over later, and also have enough money to get the mystery box on the way over there, because you will need a gun for what we're going to go over after we turn on the power. Alright guys, tip number 3 for today is always save a zombie at the end of each round. The reason why we want to do this is so that we can go through, buy the upgrades that we need, or complete any Easter egg that is needed. Now, you don't have to do this between rounds, say 1 through 5, 1 through 6, if you're going to go out through 7. The reason why we want to do this is so that we have enough time to complete everything, get the upgrades that we need, so we don't get hoarded around the next rounds proceeding. Alright guys, next thing we're going to turn on the power, but before we do that, we're just going to grab our mystery box weapon. After we grab our mystery box weapon, we're just going to go straight to the swamp, open that door, then go to the facility. You don't have to worry about opening this with money, because it just automatically opens. Then we're going to buy this door right here, go straight from there into where the pointed arrow is. So usually when you're doing this, there's going to be arrows. Once you open that, we're going to go straight through. This is the particle accelerator. This is the lab. We're going to go straight through the lab and turn on the power. So this is going to be the last door before turning on the power. So there's no need to buy any more doors. Turn on the power. You're going to have to, after turning on the power, you're going to have to turn on the terminals. So this is to stabilize the particle accelerator. So there's one on the right and one on the left. After turning those on, spawn, we're gonna go straight down here, and what's gonna spawn is called the anomaly. So this is gonna lead you to the ether. This is anomaly, aka ether portal. Once you're gonna enter the ether, it's gonna take a little bit, but you'll notice when you're gonna spawn in. Alright, once you enter through the ether portal, there's going to be a mark up there. It's going to say ether tunnel. So there are two. Sometimes it just randomizes where you go. So there's going to be one above the tank. So it is 500 per tunnel. Another one is above the airplane, where the airplane crash site is, right next to the tunnels. They're both right next to each other. So it costs 500 to enter the tunnel. And once you enter the tunnel, there is going to be a mod part to the Pack-a-Punch. You're going to pick that up. It's always going to be behind you. You're going to pick that up, and then you're going to go straight to the lab where you found the anomaly portal. And right there is going to be a silhouette of the Pack-a-Punch. And once you enter that there, you will have the Pack-a-Punch upgrade. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to shoot these blue lights located here in this area right in front of the power. Going to go ahead and shoot the one all the way in the corner on top. We're going to go up these stairs, go right in between these communications, shoot that blue light, go down all the way downstairs, go on top of this crate in front of the separating stairs, shoot that blue light, and then we're going to go over into the zombie hole, and there will be a little blue light. It's really hard to see. Gonna shoot that as well. And what this is gonna do, you're gonna be, oh, you could go ahead and kill the zombie, by the way. The round automatically ends even though you go in the ether again. But it's a little cool Easter egg that Treyarch put in. So it's just a bunch of dancing zombies, and on top of them they have a crate. So it's supposed to represent the meme, the coffin dance meme. And you go ahead and go around with the particle accelerator and they dance. So after the dance is over, they drop a crate. Now what the crate is, you want to make sure it's gold, by the way. That's the one you want. Everything else you do not want. So it drops a rarity of that weapon, whatever you pick. So after the green one, the gold one will pop up. So now you'll get a gold weapon with attachments on it. You'll get a free perk, and that's Juggernaut. It also comes along with salvations, so that's basically what you use to get combat armor, lethal supports, and tacticals. And once you do that, you can go ahead and end the round, basically. And it's going to be a dog round automatically, so no matter what you do, it will always be a dog round. Alright guys, at the end of every dog round, there will always be a max ammo, regardless of what time. Whatever round it is, at every dog round you will get max ammo regardless, so do not buy any ammo. Okay guys, the next thing that's going to happen is that the Megaton is going to spawn, and this is very important. So you'll know when the Megaton spawns once this dialogue pops up from any of the scientists.
Radioactivity in your AO. Something is headed your way.
Alright, what you want to do in this situation, you want to leave him intact for just this now. You're going to go behind this tree, right in front of the swamp area, and what you want him to do is shoot the tree where the fungus is. Now what this is going to do, you're going to interrupt, a dialogue's going to pop up, basically saying, oh, this could free the balls off a plague hound. That's going to be useful later. We're not going to get into that now, but what we're going to do, you're just going to kill all the rest of the zombies, as well as kill the Megaton. Now, it will split in two, so that's how you know you're doing the right thing. So after you kill both of them, a key card will go ahead and spawn in. What you're going to do, you're going to pick up this key card. You can't miss it. It's gold. After you spawn this key card, you can go ahead and leave one last zombie, as we stated before. Alright, and then you're gonna want to go to the area where the nuke is. This is right next to the lab, and go to the weapons lab. And you're gonna unlock the drawer with a key card. Now what this is going to do is give you a remote control for the die Shockwave. And it will tell you once you detect it, but I'm gonna already show you where it is. It is at the spawn area where the door is. And you could go ahead and end the round regardless, because you're going to need some zombies to go ahead and kill the Die Shockwave. And I can show you where that is. Alright, now you're going to have to go gather a bunch of zombies, because this is very important. What it's going to do, it's going to suck up the zombies. And after you gathered, you go through the spawn area again. There's going to be this little block area. And it has a door. On the side of it is a hole. You're going to want to turn on the with the Die remote control, the Shockwave. It's going to suck up the zombies, and whatever zombies go through you can kill. It doesn't need that many zombies, but it needs about 60. Once that's done, it's going to tell you it's done, and you're going to have to discharge it. And after that, you just kill whatever zombies remain except for the last one. And then you're going to go ahead, discharge it, and it will open the door, and you will have your Die Shockwave. Alright guys, the next thing you want to do is go upstairs into the upper balcony, and what you're going to do is shoot the box off the balcony. You have to use the Die Shockwave. Then you're going to go downstairs, grab the cartridge from the outside by sucking it. Then you're going to get the flask, put it against the tree where the fungus is. This is going to be useful later for one of the field upgrades. And afterwards, you're going to want to go to the ether as well. Now, during this time, there are only 3 spots the ether will show up, either in the lab area, the swamp, or the penthouse upstairs. Alright guys, we're going to find the first part for the AETHERSCOPE in front of the Los Angeles stairs at the spawn area. Every time you pick up a AETHERSCOPE part, there will always be a dog spawning, about 5 of them. Make sure at the end when you get the last AETHERSCOPE part to save the 3 dogs, and I'm going to tell you why later. It's going to be very important after you finish this. The second one should be right next to the portal at the staircase. Another 5 dogs will spawn. And the last one should be at the airport crash. No, sorry, not airport. The airplane crash. And that should be on the wing. And once you do that, another 5 dogs will spawn. But save the dogs for at the last part, please. I beg you. This will be the quickest way to get the field upgrade for the weapon. And you're going to pick up this fuse box. Make sure you pick that up. That is another upgrade as well for the fire one. Once you do that, you will spawn back. Regardless of where you are, you will spawn back at the regular world. Alright guys, we're going to go down to the lab where we found the Die remote control. It's going to be on the right as soon as you go down the stairs. The dogs that we have from the AETHERSCOPE that we saved up, we're going to bring them downstairs into that room. And you're going to insert the cartridge into the slot over there. And what you have to do, you have to kill a gas hound there so you can collect the gas from it. And what it's going to do, it's going to absorb it. It will show a dialogue that you got the absorb. And once you do that, you're going to go all the way back upstairs, collect the flask that you put underneath the fungus to collect the freeze agent so you can get the ice mod as well. And after you pick that up, you're going to run back to in front of the airplane crash, and right there's going to be a crate, and you're going to place the cartridge, the gas hound gas. You're going to either shoot it or knife it. Once you do that, you'll be able to have the Nova 5. Now, in my opinion, I think this can either be the 3rd or 4th worst, just because it has no range whatsoever. You have to aim a bit up for it to go far. And what it's meant to do is it's meant to do additional damage while you shoot at them. It is good earlier rounds for bosses, but pretty much so I think in this right here is the ice upgrade. Now this can either be the 3rd or 4th worst. If you have another person using, say, the fire or electric mod, you can freeze the bosses and the hordes and use it at the same time. But that's only the case where you're playing with another player who has Die Shockwave. And after that, you're going to assemble the AETHERSCOPE. Now what this is going to do, it's going to detect anomalies inside the ether and help you proceed through the next part. After you pick that up, you're going to go into the nearest ether anomaly, which is inside the computer area where the you have to attempt the password. Once you enter there, you're gonna have to go inside that room that I'm pointing at right now, and inside there, on top of the desk, is Dr. Vogel's diary. Once you pick that up, you're gonna have to head straight on the bottom of where you're at right now, enter the blue light, and you hand them the journal. And then after there, next place you're gonna go ahead and go to is the right next to the armor place. By the way, you should go over there and use upgrades. What the upgrades do is you get additional armor just like how you would in Warzone, as well as upgrade your tier weapon for damage, so it goes from common to legendary. After you head there, you're gonna go inside the little rewards area, and the last this is the second to last anomaly. Once you go from there, you're gonna go back to where you built the AETHERSCOPE, right at the bottom of the particle accelerator, and there should be your last anomaly for Dr. Vogel's speech. So this, after doing this, the cutscene will end, and while you're in these cutscenes, you cannot be attacked by the monsters unless you trigger so. Once this ends, you'll be teleported back into the real world, and you will have to go into two more anomalies. Alright guys, the first area we're going to go to is the airplane crash site, and there's a little box as soon as you exit out the facility. Once you go there, you're going to have to go back into the particle accelerator, and there is a little crate there. You have to shoot it. You have to do this 3 times. Yes, 3 times, and it does not take a single try. I think I did it once, and it was I by chance collected the last shard, but I did not shoot it in the ether. But you can always collect it and save it. And make sure you do not use the CRYO-EMITTER because it will not work. It has to be a shockwave. If it's not a shockwave, it will just go back to the same area it was. And now the second area we're gonna go to is right outside the swamp area on our left side. It's pretty easy to spot, and I would suggest doing these 2 first because it's quick, simple, and it's out of the way. And once you do that, you're gonna have to go back and put it in one more time, but you will not have another chance to get it because just the way that the map was made for some reason. Next up, we have to go upstairs into the swamp area, and this is where we're gonna find the ether portal. This is the only ether portal that will allow you to get the laser upgrade, and only the laser upgrade. And once we go inside the portal, we're gonna have to go downstairs where we found the remote control. That is the nuke area. As soon as you go downstairs to the facility, take a right, and you're gonna go downstairs. Once you go downstairs, you're going to find a laser cutter, and you go ahead and enter it in there. As soon as you enter in there, you're gonna go right back to the real world, and you have to end the round real quick because you can't go inside the particle accelerator anomaly unless you end the next round you're going into. And after you end the round, you go ahead and go back to the particle accelerator and get the last shard. Now, where we find our last shard, it's going to be upstairs where we found the box for the flask. It's going to be on our right, and you collect the shard, and that's pretty much it. And after you do this, you get yourself the electric upgrade for the die shockwave. Now, this by far, in my opinion, is the best upgrade. Only because it has a double damage multiplier, so it will have 400 on the side of each weapon. And what it does, it will penetrate through anything. I mean anything. It is best to use against bosses. It is by far the best to use against bosses. And it will be very useful to you towards the end when you do the Easter egg boss. And it shoots exactly like the CRYO-EMITTER, which is the freeze upgrade. Pretty much, it's really OP. I really don't know what else to say about it. Alright guys, we can finally get into the DECAM agent facility part. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to grab every field upgrade for the SHOCKWAVE, and we're going to go to the color designated areas. So yellow for electric, blue for ice, red for fire, and green for Nova 5, which is poison. Once we do that, it's going to say that we don't have a DECAM agent found. So what we're going to do, we're going to have to go back into the ether portal on the area where you go into the lab. Once you go in there, you're going to go to the same area, that red spot where the computer is, and it's going to attract an anomaly. And this is another cutscene. So basically what they talk about is that, oh, this is gold, we're going to hide it so no one finds it and we can save it for ourselves. And once you do that, there's going to be a dark ether wrench. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and pick up the dark ether wrench once the cutscene ends and we spawn back into the normal world. And we're just going to go straight into the area, the spawn area, and we're going to go to the tank actually. And you're going to have to click on it 3 times and a zombie's going to pop up. And make sure you have a semtex, because you have to throw a semtex exactly at the center where the zombie shows up. So that it's going to be the little latch hole that pops up. And after you do that, it's going to shoot. So you're just going to kill this zombie right here. Throw it exactly on there. Make sure it doesn't kill the last zombie that you saved. And what it's going to do, it's going to explode, pop up, and then it's going to hit a tree. And I make sure you do this before you pick up the decontamination agent, because once you pick it up, you're defenseless and you're really slow. So zombies are going to pop up, about 5 dogs pop up, and a heavy zombie. So make sure you kill those, make sure you don't kill the last zombie. And after you kill all those dudes, you get to go back into the place where you find the dark ether wrench and insert the dark DECAM agent. The DECAM agent, sorry. Alright, once you enter this in here, you're gonna have to end the round, or if you didn't already you have to have a megaton during this round, because once you enter that in, you have to have a subject. The subject is the megaton split up from bomber to blaster, and once you have those, you have to split it up. Alright guys, the second to last step of this Easter egg is to actually get the megaton who is supposed to help you. So basically what you do, you have to split up the megaton and get the bomber and the blaster from the megaton inside that DECAM agent. Once you do that, it's going to show up a cutscene. It's automatically going to end the round, and he's going to be like, oh, I can't, live like this, blah blah blah, I'm in so much pain. And what you're gonna have to do next is get his family photo so he remembers who he is. Now, doing this, you have to remember, this is a new round, so be very careful. You can't go in a lab, you can't find them, so you have to get that family photo. Next thing you're gonna do, you're gonna go back to the spawn area, and there's gonna be an ether portal, and you're gonna enter that ether portal. And the next thing you're gonna do, once you get in there, go downstairs, go all the way straight from downstairs. And this is the final cutscene. Now, before you start, you have to be ready. You have to get your lethals, your tacticals, and everything, every perk that you need. Because once you pick up this photo, you are going to start the boss fight. Regardless of what you're going to do, you cannot leave. It's going to also be in the particle accelerator. What I suggest is to get some syringes, as well as C4s. Now, C4s is really helpful because it will allow you to defend him, because you have to protect him while he's doing this. He does have a lifespan, as he's destroying the machine, so he has to destroy 3 parts of it, and it's 3 rounds basically. And you don't have to worry about ammo, but you do have to worry about the bosses you fight, because there will be a lot of megaton blasters and the megaton overloads. Overlords. Now, what I do, I place the C4 on top of him, and once he gets surrounded, I, detonate the C4s. And you'll know when the scene ends. You'll know when the boss fight ends once the white screen pops up. Once you do that, you are free to go, but you have to make it to the exfil in time. And now the rest of the scene is you escaping into the helicopter. Now, to do this scene, you have to be very careful, because if you go into the blue light, you are going to die. The blue lights that pop up right there, so the route to go to is go up the stairs, jump across the gap, run straight, take a right up here, and you're gonna have to take another right because the left side is blocked by blue lights. Once you do that, you're gonna have to go past the zombies. It's pretty easy. The easier it gets is if you do it in less rounds. Now, if you do it in high rounds, it's gonna be harder than it's supposed to be. Now, all you have to do is survive in this area, and once the chopper comes down, you are safe as golden. But make sure you don't have to clear the zombies or anything. All you need to do is just stay safe until the helicopter lands. Once it lands, you are good to escape. Now, there is no ending cutscene, unfortunately, for some reason. So what happens is that the whole place just blows up because of the particle accelerator. And that is pretty much it, guys. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go over every tip and trick, so the next video I will make will be the tips and tricks on how to actually play. This is just more than the basics. So if you want to see that, just drop a like, follow, and comment down when you want to see it, and what kind of else information I'm missing. And see you guys later, man.